So what we got here is Don Lemon over at CNN giving his take on things with this whole Trump Thanos thing that I thought was pretty funny. So let's listen to what he has to say.
In addition to all the lies and all the blustering at tonight's rally, Trump's war room posted a meme on Twitter today showing Trump as the supervillain Thanos from the Marvel Avengers movies, dispatching his Democratic enemies. Take a look at this.
I am inevitable.
On this solemn day, I recall that the first order of business for members of
What are we in junior high school? Like, what the hell? What is this? Like, what? What?
Out of everybody out there, Don Lemon doesn't seem to be the one selling this very well. He seems to think that this was some type of bad idea and that nobody is behind Trump and it's just a dumb, childish thing. Trump didn't make it. These are fans. These are people that have a Photoshop program and recorded something that they thought was pretty funny. They put it out there, and tons of people like it. It doesn't matter if it's about Trump or if it's about Putin or it's about Kim Jong-un. It matters that people understand it, they think it's funny, and then they share it. All right, comedy is not dead. They're trying to kill it. Don Lemon is sitting right here going to tell you how dumb it is and how if you like it, you must be an idiot or stupid or dumb as well. Let's listen.
I cannot believe that I'm even having to report this on the news. This is crazy. This is literally crazy. Are you people insane?
You people. So he is specifically targeting Trump supporters, people that made the video, Donald Trump, basically anyone who is a Republican, a true liberal, a libertarian, just who is not an elite $1 million a year contracted, living on the property where people can't get to because there's gates, they have armed security guards. Yeah, the rest of us, we're crazy. That's the problem. These people think that we're bad people. We're not. We're just regular folks. We don't have the same privileges.
Are you insane? Go ahead. Troll the Democrats on Twitter. Do this stupid, silly, you know what? Play this stupid, juvenile meme game.
I figured that memes have become the modern day story of Robin Hood, or it's the little guy versus the big guy, and the only thing we have in our little slingshot are these little meme rocks, and we keep firing them at the big guy, at the giant, and that's the problem is they keep hitting him in the eye and knocking down giants with these funny little memes, and the memes aren't there to insult necessarily or to belittle. They're there because they're funny and people understand them and it brings people together. That's what I don't think these guys understand. They don't want us united in one idea. They would like to have us divided in several ideas so they can manipulate the direction that you are thinking based on polls that they come up with and ideas to just knock you off of what you think is true. Half the reason why I haven't started doing some of this until now is because I was afraid that everything I said was going to be looked at with a fine-tooth comb, and if I didn't say things exactly right, I couldn't be a part of their cool crowd. Well, not everyone's cool. Some of us aren't. But we're together. I have lots of friends that believe different things from me, and we discuss those things, and we disagree. And then we go about our business, and we, when people listen, they learn, though. They tend to learn stuff they didn't understand before. So what you're trying to create is dialogue, so people talk and they come out with more memes and they come out with more ideas, so we can all put that in a collective bowl and then draw from it, so we can get something good out of it. Who knows what the best idea comes next? Who knows who it'll be? It could be an 80-year-old woman. It could be a 10-year-old boy. Who knows? But we need to get the ideas out there so that we can make this place stronger and better for everybody. I mean this place by America. I don't think Don Lemon cares about that. I think he cares about an income.
History won't record this meme, stupid crap. But history will record this, the seriousness of what is happening. That today is the day that the House of Representatives in the United States of America introduced articles of impeachment against President Donald J. Trump.
I'm going to say this right now. History is going to record that meme as George Washington or Lincoln. This is going to go down in history. People will hardly remember what the actual articles of impeachment are in the future. Hardly. They will have no idea. Oh, I think they got him for obstruction, or I think that it was for paying too much for toilet paper in Sudan. No, they're not going to remember any of it. They're going to remember that horrifically horrible, bad things that were told about them by the news media at the time, and how much they thought that meme was really funny. They thought it was kind of comical. And most people aren't even political, so they don't care. They just saw Trump's face on another character and went, ha, look at that one. That looked like part of the movie. But Don Lemon wants you to believe that, nope, this is the most important thing in the world and we need to take it very seriously. He gets paid to take it seriously. That's the only reason why it's running across CNN right now.
The President of the United States of America for committing high crimes and misdemeanors.
What I can't believe is they put out some meme here like it's, some silly cartoon thing. I mean, not that I want to put the cartoon down, but I mean, come on now. I mean, this.
See, even this guy he has on here, John Kasich, he even thought it was funny. You can tell by the way when he thought about the meme, he actually was laughing because it's funny. It's not a reason to go after a whole group of people. It's a really, really funny thing. So they can sit up there and act like they're better than everybody else and holier than thou. But remember, these are the same people that told you that there was Russian collusion, and every day was something new. For 3.5 years or 3 years now, almost to the day, they have been just hammering on Trump about being a bad president, and they never gave him a chance. So we figured that impeachment wouldn't be inevitable, but it is us independents out there, independent voters. We are without a party. Okay, I can't be a libertarian anymore because they kicked me out because I don't hate the government enough. I can't be a Democrat because of how insane that party has gone. I don't like the idea of what the Republicans do once you get too far into the right. They do get a little bit extreme. So I think, like most of us, we're kind of right there in the middle. There's only 5 or 6 key things that we are going to disagree on. The rest of it, I don't think we have a problem agreeing. But these people here, they do not have your best interest in mind when they are reporting this news. They do not. And if you think so, go find one of them. Find out what they went to college for. Ask them questions. Look and see if you can find any of the reports they did when they were younger and how they wanted to change the world and make a difference. I guarantee you're going to find at some point their narratives have changed. It's called money. Just the reason why folks voted for Trump because they figured he couldn't be bought and paid for. These people are, and they can't believe that he isn't due to the fact that same thing happened to them. They had big ideas, but they were bought. That's what happens. It's everybody's got a number. Some people still have some integrity, but how much is enough? If you were offered $10 million, what wouldn't you do? My buddies and I have joked about this for the last 15, 20 years. There's pretty much nothing you wouldn't do for that kind of money. Just assume that these guys get the offers on a regular basis. I don't know what these two guys on CNN make, but I can guarantee you it's enough to say whatever the heck their bosses want them to say. And I don't think that they even believe it. And they do a good job. All right. We all love actors. And, Lemon is a great actor. He is a wonderful actor. I bet you if you caught him when he wasn't all CNN'd up, he would probably be a fun guy to talk to. He probably has some pretty cool ideas. He's probably like a real good guy. But just like, Ben Stiller or, Johnny Depp, they have a role to play. The people that they play in that role isn't who they are, it's who they are playing. So the question is, how much is enough? You get paid enough, how much is it for you to say, hey, Trump's bad, we hate him, the whole world hates him, knowing fully well that he was elected duly and then he'll probably be reelected again, regardless of your bias. The polls are showing it. Ever since the Trump impeachment thing has happened, his numbers keep going up. Right after they come out and say that he's added 266,000 jobs, even though 30,000 were people going back to work, it's still that's a lot of jobs. Coming right out and just say let's impeach him, and now they're trying to use memes to say that the people out here like us that are free thinking and consider everything and don't just draw a line in the sand. I mean, we don't have enough money to do that, and some people that do have enough money still have some moral responsibility to just call things out. You don't have to make any decisions now or today, but in the future, we all know what's going to happen. They're going to fight, they're going to cheat, they're going to put everything out there to try to get everyone they can to vote Democrat, when half of the stuff that they accuse the Republican Party of doing. Now you have to understand they're grouping everyone that's not them into the Republican Party. So technically, as far as these CNN types and far lefts and not as much as the center lefts, I usually get along with most of those guys really well. But the farther left guys, they just think that anyone that is right of them is a Nazi and is just a bad person, and they don't have any moral place to jump off of a platform to stand on. So, who is the moral majority? I'm going to say it's probably the middle of the country. These people, they farm, they go to church, they have blue laws, so you can't even open your business on Sundays because they have a religious background. I think that's a pretty sturdy background or a platform to come from, as opposed to some of these folks that grow up in the city and they don't necessarily have religion, which is okay. I don't have any problem with the way people live. But maybe, just maybe, when you come from a place like that, your platform, your moral platform, it may move. It may not be, on solid ground. It may not be anchored to a religion or a type of traditional living. It's a non-traditional. So it could be a slippery slope. I don't know. I grew up in a rural area, so it may be different for everyone. I just know that I see both sides, and I totally understand why each side believes what it believes. I just can't say that I'm 100% part of any one of those sides. And I think that a lot of folks out there are just like me.
Serious business, and we're really at the heart of it. Everybody has to ask themselves, when I think about Ronald Reagan, would Ronald Reagan have ever called up a nation that was in trouble in terms of somebody invading part of their country and say, listen, I'll help you out with some military aid, but you got to go investigate my political opponent?
What I also don't understand is why they keep spinning it back to the original narrative that was read by Adam Schiff that was a mockery of what he said was a joke on the Senate floor, explaining what happened in the phone call between Trump and Ukraine. Now you have him trying to take back and right back to what they said before. They've never changed it. They released all of the documentation. This is just it's getting ridiculous. But they keep playing it over and over because they know that the more they say it, the more that a weak-minded person is going to start believing it. In fact, they have got to a point where they have started quoting their own stories as fact, as it's been verified, because reported by so-and-so. Well, half the time these so-and-so reporting it was reporting it on a CNN article they saw 2 months ago. So they can't use themselves biased opinion piece as a fact article. It happens all the time. I don't have any references for that, so don't sue me or anything. I just noticed here recently that they brought that up, and I thought it was kind of funny that the original article is a CNN article. But let's listen.
I mean, that would be a fantasy movie. That just wouldn't happen, and and that's what we're facing here. And it's not just about Donald Trump, Don, as you and I have talked. It's also about future presidents, and
it's totally 100% about Donald Trump. They don't care about future presidents, because if they set this as a precedent to do what they are doing now, the next president or presidents, if you think it can happen to a president like Donald Trump, don't think it couldn't happen to an Elizabeth Warren or a Bernie Sanders. It absolutely could. All they're doing is they're going to make it impossible for our government to govern by splitting everyone down the middle and passing laws. That's when you do an impeachment, the number one thing they wanted to have was both sides say, hey, there's a problem here. We need to take care of the problem. The reason why there are so many members that need to say that is because some people can be tainted and others can be looking at it from a different point of view. So we're not even anywhere near unanimous. We're looking at a strictly partisan, trying to force a guy out of office that was duly elected, regardless if he was a Democrat or Republican or an independent. It doesn't matter. This is totally horrible. We should never be doing this unless he's done something wrong. Given information to the bad guys and all that stuff, yeah, we don't want to do that. But at the same time, what do you do?
What they can do, because and what troubles me as much as anything is the issue of the truth. You and I have had a lot of good back and forth about Ohio State and LSU. I say Ohio State's number one. You say no, they're not. I say yes, they are. You say, well, I have the facts. I say, well, you got your facts, I got my facts. I mean, that's what's so amazing about this. The truth about things in America today. The truth is, it just depends on people's point of view.
I will say that he is absolutely right about that. Everyone's looking at the same story, but we're getting two realities from that same story. So yeah, I see things every day. I spend way too much time paying attention to the news than I do paying attention to my own life, and I see the same thing. I see on one side of the party that you have, oh, it's 100% this way. It's in plain sight. Look, it's in the documents. And then on the other side, they say the exact same thing, but to the opposite. You just have to view and judge for yourself. And those of you out there that aren't political, you're not missing anything. All right, you are not missing anything. Stuff that's really important isn't going to, be a bombshell at 2:30 in the afternoon. This stuff is going to be saved up and it's going to be marketed properly. So, like they say, don't look in the air for it to happen. It's going to be right in front of you. Let's keep watching.
Don, you and I were never raised to think that the truth is a matter of opinion. The truth is a fact. And, it's pretty remarkable. And so when we look at this situation, we got to think about the long-term implications for our country and for people who are watching. It's why we have to get out of our silos. We have to listen to other people. But at the end of the day, there is truth. And we can't agree on basic facts. You tell me where this country is going for our children.
I like how he's trying to say that they're correct and that this is the facts and we were supposed to adhere to their facts. But to be completely straight, all of the media outlets, and the reason I pick CNN, I'm going to use CNN for a vast majority, or CSNBC and these other places, or MSNBC and others, because they tend to have the most spin. I'd love to use Fox News, but Fox is kind of, they get it right quite often, and they say that they're a conservative outlet. So when they say, look, we're a little bit biased this way, and then you see their opinion stuff, you go, wow, yeah, they're definitely conservative or Republican. But when you look at CNN and MSNBC and some of these other places, they are really, really biased, really biased. So when you see this, if you watch them every day, obviously you're probably not going to notice. But if you were to do what he says and go listen to, what I would recommend is you go listen to independent media. One of my favorite people is Tim Pool. I'd go out there and that guy gets it right probably as much as anyone can. He says that he is a center-leaning left, and I would say that compared to him, I am a center-leaning right. And I think we both like Joe Rogan. So I know a lot of people out there think the world of Joe, and I don't miss a podcast. I hated Dr. Phil, and then he went on Joe Rogan, and I found out that I may have been wrong. I may have been misjudging this guy. He seemed to be a good person, someone that really wanted to help people and saw a void and went after it. I think it's great that he's done what he's done, and I had no idea. I also figured that Tulsi Gabbard seemed pretty cool, and then when she went on Joe Rogan, I mean, come on, if you're a Democrat and you're not voting for Tulsi Gabbard, I don't know what to tell you. I know that a lot of folks say that she kind of leans right for a Democrat. What's wrong with that? What is wrong with being so in the middle that people have a hard time placing your bias? That's terrific. That probably means that she's going to be willing to listen to ideas from both sides without separating a country. All right. One thing that Donald Trump does do is he does keep it a little divided. It's his people versus other people, and which I don't care for, but it's worked for him. So let's not forget that to some extent this is still a popularity contest, and he is the number one popularity guy in America. Everyone knows who Trump is all around the world. So he's one of the most popular people in general. But he also is a businessman, and he's made headway in these places where he promised to do it, especially in our economy, and I'm okay with that. But wouldn't it be nice to maybe get someone in like Tulsi or even Yang? I don't care a lot for the universal basic income, but he's an entrepreneur. He has good ideas. I really liked Larry Sharp from New York. He had some great ideas. If you guys get a chance, go check out Larry Sharp. Listen to his. He went on Joe Rogan also, and Joe pinned him down. All right, how are you going to do it? And he had answers. These are the people that we need around the president. We need to stop splitting it down the middle and say your team, my team. If we could get a few, Tulsi Gabbards in there and Larry Sharps and Andrew Yangs to be a part of whoever's president or whatever, maybe we'll get some better ideas. Maybe together, these guys can work stuff out, and then you won't have to have the division in the parties. So I'm going to leave it right there. I had fun with this CNN thing. I just couldn't believe Don Lemon was putting on this show over a Thanos Trump meme, which one of the funniest ones so far as I'm concerned. I just don't know why it's such a big deal. Then wants to turn it into some type of smear. You're a crazy person if you're into it. You're a bad person if you voted for him. We're just people, man. We're just people, all of us. What difference does it make? Thanks for checking out Independent Nightly News. I'm going to try to get these out on a regular basis. This is my first one. I need you guys to like, and I need you to share, and let's get this thing off the ground. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks.